Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
All right, welcome again. As usual, I'm Supernova and you're with Boom Traders. This is our second video of the series and a logical, I think, sequence to the first video that we've discussed. The very first thing that you have to mentally prepare yourself if you want to really go into this journey of trading. So I will take it that you are brand new, and from the first video we discussed the emotional and the challenge, the emotional challenges and the mental state that you have to put yourself into in order to get successful into this field, just as any other field, as I mentioned. But before we get into a bit more advanced topics like choosing your broker, what to trade, what not to trade, whether to go for a demo account or real money account, I want you to be as prepared as possible for what is about to hit you, because starting with the broker and opening an account without having any prior knowledge of what trading is, I think you're going to get overwhelmed, and that might lead to some financial losses that you are unprepared to take and to accept. So I decided that the most logical, obvious point for you right now would be not so much to open a brokerage account, although you might want to. And certainly, if you so much so want to open a brokerage account, do so. But just open the charts and just stay there and watch the market. Do not do anything, and go back to the books that I'll suggest right here. So there are 5 books in this presentation that are absolutely necessary for you to go over. And I know that many times when we go over read books for the first time, there are parts that are skipped and so forth. So I'm just saying, go over those books, read them for the first time. I bet you that if you really gonna make trading your profession in the future, you're gonna be reading those books tens of times. So just read them once to get the sense of what trading is, so you'll be prepared for your first meet with charts and trading executions, stuff like that. So I've put them in a chronological order that I think is going to be best appropriate for you to tackle them. And the first one that I believe that you have to read is How to Make Money in Stocks. It's written by William O'Neill. As you can see here on the cover of the book, he's the founder of Investors Business Daily. And if there is a platform, if there is a media for educating new traders or traders in general, that's gotta be Investors Business Daily. It's by far the most popular. Well, you probably heard of Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal, but Investors Business Daily is focused towards the trader, the fundamentals of what stock purchasing, stocks short selling is, how to pick the stocks, the fundamentals that you have to look for, the market cycle, the leaders, the laggards, and stuff like that. So I believe that this book will basically take you from the level of being absolute novice to give you a better understanding how this whole thing works. Now, of course, there are many ways that you can trade, but this is just a general framework for you, and a good one, I must add. I would have been very happy if someone, when I was starting trading, would have just given me this book and say, well, just follow that. And trust me, if you just follow that, you're going to make money. So this is the first book I think you should start with. And don't worry about it. You don't need to go over into Amazon right now and stuff like that. I'll post the links to all of these books in the description of the video. So this one's the first one. After you're done with this one, don't start with the charts just yet. Go through 3 books that are written by Mr. Mark Minervini. I don't know how to put it. This guy is amazing. When he wrote this book, he was an investing champion. Now I think he's three-time U.S. investing champion. Um, he took what William O'Neill wrote and developed it further, enhanced it with his own concepts, but not deviating too much from William O'Neill book. So this is a logical step forward for you. And Minervini is very specific with the setups. He's very specific with what he trades, how he approaches the trade. So I think that this is one of the best ways to start your trading education. So trade like a stock market wizard, think and trade like a champion. These two books are more focused on trading themselves. But as I mentioned in the first video, mental and emotional preparation, your mentality, the way you approach trading is just as important, if not more important, than how you actually trade. So the third book that I've listed from Mark Minervini here is named Mindset Secrets for Winning, and it has to do with psychology. So we started with trading, as you saw with William O'Neill book, and then we went a little further and further with Mark's two books about trading. But now I want to get over two books that have to do with your mindset, the way you think, the way you approach trading. Because believe me, trading is not just about executing a trade. The way you go into the trade, the way you think about trading, the feelings that you have inside of you will play a vital role in your success or alternatively failure as a trader. So this is the first book, Mindset Secrets for Winning. And the other one is a book by a person who's no longer with us, Mr. Mark Douglas. Trading in the Zone is probably the most important and famous book that is written on the topic of psychology of trading. I don't really have the words right now. I really have goosebumps right now because this book is so good. So I want you to be prepared on the trading part, but I also want you to be prepared on the mindset and the thinking part. So now we have three books that are about trading and two books that are about psychology. I'm going to leave it with that as being the absolute necessity that I think you should cover before you ever place a single trade. Now, don't get me wrong, you can trade without those books. And even if you read those books, I'm not guaranteeing you that you will be safe the first trade you take. I'm going to make sure that by the time you take the first trade, you know how to place your stop loss, because this is what's going to make you feel safe. But emotionally prepared, I don't think so. Not in the first, not in the 100 trade. But this is the way to start. And now there are a couple of more books that I have here that are really interesting. You can read them once you start playing with charts and playing with orders. These are Momentum Masters. Of course, they have Mark Minervini. They have David Ryan, who is a disciple of William O'Neill. He was working with William O'Neill Investors Business Daily. So he's a very, very good trader. And Dan Zanger. Dan Zanger is the world record holder for return in stocks. I think that he took something like $10,000 and made, I would lie to you, but it was like 10 or $20 million in 2 years. Just mind blowing. And then Mark Ricci, the second, who is working with Mark Minervini. So this is a very good book. It's really easy to read. I really like it. It will give you a lot of answers in very concise format. So it's a good read, definitely. If you want to become proficient in terms of reading charts, and right now you probably don't know what Japanese candlesticks are, or a bar chart or a line chart is, but once you start playing with chart, you will see that the power of Japanese candlesticks. This is just the way of representing data, nothing more. So you don't need to go with this right now. As I said, this is something that you might want to look into after you start playing with charts. But Steve Neeson also has video courses. He's just the master of that. He brought them from Japan, because Japanese candlesticks, as the name implies, Started in Japan in the mid-centuries with rice trading, and they just transferred to the United States and Western trading in general in the 1990s. So he was a person who brought them here, and he's considered by many to be the expert on those. So, but as I said, this is just a thing that you can move on to once you start playing with charts. Stan Weinstein's Secrets for Profiting in Bull and Bear Markets is something that actually Mark Minervini took from him as a concept. You will see when you read Mark's books with the stages that stock or any type of an asset is going through. You know, the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. There are already 4 stages, just so you'll be aware. So Stan Weinstein is the person who actually coined the terms and defined those stages. And you will learn from Mark's books. We want to trade stocks that are in stage 2 to the upside, or if you're selling short, or you're exploring some of the benefits of options like buying puts. You want to go for stage 4 stocks that are in a decline. Last but not least, I read this book. I don't find it as amazing as William O'Neill's or Mark Minervini's books, but I need to put it here because this is considered by many to be pretty much the probably the most important book of trading in general. It's regarding a gentleman by the name of Jesse Livermore, and I think that he was pretty much the first. How to put it, like really famous trader out there. So you can read it. It's not written by Jesse Livermore. It's narrated by Edwin Lefebvre regarding Jesse Livermore. So Jesse Livermore's life and experience with trading through the eyes of Edwin Lefebvre here. You can definitely pick it up. But as I said, start with the first 5 books. You'll see their description, their links to the Amazon where you can get them in the description of the video. And once you're done with those 5, you can proceed with the additional books. Of course, there are many more books that we've listed in our Discord server, but I think that the first 5 are well enough for you to get you onto speed and on track with what you are about to get into. So once you're done with this, please proceed to the next video where we're going to be discussing trading assets, what you'll be trading, and then moving on to finding the right broker for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.